Hello and welcome back to Gubb Farm. I'm in the process of planting apple, pear and plum trees. Specifically I'm planting conference pears, Victoria plums and discovery Boskoop, if that's how you pronounce it, and Katy apples. So in total I'm planting 105 trees. I'm in the last stage and I have another 28 left to go. I've had plenty of help as well. What's up, Bella? Over the last 24 hours, Bella has protected me from some badgers, a deer. How are you, Bella? So I got the trees a number of weeks ago and I had to stop planting because it went to about -5 and the ground was too hard. So to keep the trees alive during that period, I just set them into some compost. So I'm now going to just remove them from the compost and take them out of the field and plant them. The fruit trees are category 3, which means they should flower at the end of April, early May. And that's important because last hard frost is generally around mid-April here. Just going to give a quick demo of how I plant trees. Kind of the key components are I'll stake into the direction of the wind. So the prevailing wind is typically from the southwest. So the stake will be on the southwest of the tree. The larger roots I point in that general direction to brace the tree against the prevailing wind, and I try to minimise soil disturbance. As I mentioned in earlier videos, the first year I planted trees I dug a big hole and set the trees into it, and I spent the winter on my hands and knees, training roots and staking trees. And then for the second phase of planting, I followed the technique that I'm going to show you now, and I had 0 issues with trees not remaining stable. The rootstock is M26, so apparently they will require staking for a number of years. I know very little about it, to be truthful, so I'm going to follow the popular guidance on this until I learn more. So what I'll do is I'll cut out a square in 2 rectangles. I'll try and minimise the soil disturbance and lift it out. When the tree goes into the ground, it has to interact with fungi to get the nutrients it needs. It gives off exudates and the fungi feed off that and bring the nutrients the tree needs. So the goal is to minimise soil disturbance, so you minimise damage to the hyphae network that the fungi have in the ground. So I cut an X and then I lift out 2 slits of soil and set the tree in. So here are the stronging roots. I'll put them in the direction of the prevailing wind, which is kind of this direction. And just set them into the little tracks that I have prepared. This tree was buried to about here, so I'm going to make this hole a little bit deeper. So you bury the tree up to the track on the tree from the previous stage of growth. So the soil should come around where it was previously up to before I got it. So I take these little roots and I train them in different directions. Just going to set the soil back in. Gently tap down the roots or the soil. I'll come back and I will stake this later. The planting pattern that I'm going with is I'm sticking with the hazelnut distribution. So I'm going with 5 meters, 5.5 meters between the rows, and within the rows 3 to 3.5 meter spacing. For pollination, I'm going apple, plum, apple, plum, apple, and then I switch to pears. Apple, pear, apple, pear. So fruit trees will pollinate each other if they're within 10 to 15 meters. So I'm putting a break between the apples and the plums. So if there is disease, maybe it'll slow it down. So an apple tree needs an apple tree to pollinate. So there's no more than 6 to 7 meters between them. Plums and pears will self-pollinate, but they will produce a better crop if they are in proximity to other plum trees. At least this is what I've read. These trees have been provided by an initiative called Orchards in the Community, and that is funded by a group of companies, data center companies, networking technology companies in Ireland, and it's part of the Hosted in Ireland DC for Bees initiative. And their goal is to create habitat for pollinators. So apparently there's been a significant decline in pollinators or wild pollinators in Ireland. Personally, I believe that's down to intensive farming practices and the excessive use of pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, insecticides, or I suppose specifically insecticides. So they're trying to do something positive by establishing these pockets of orchards, suitable habitat for pollinators, keep them happy and fed throughout the year. So thank you very much. One of the sponsors of this initiative is EU Networks, and a big thank you to them. And they even came out and gave me a hand planting.
I think that's cheating, Connor.
So a big thank you to Adrian and Brian, my good friend Matt Brennan, and of course the wonderful Conor McGovern for helping me plant those trees. It's great help, thank you. So I finished planting the last of the trees. So the next job is to prune them and start shaping them. So I'll have to prune the hazelnut as well. So the coming weeks I will make a start on that. So until then, good luck.